Sometimes this whole thing can be overwhelming. Like striving for your goal, or learning a new exercise, or trying to compete for something, it can be overwhelming. It is very much overwhelming for many people. So, what's a way that we can make this a little bit easier? And it's not by focusing on the details and thinking about every little movement that has to happen. What you should do, and what we try to do here, is to start off with smaller strategic pieces, learning the smaller, easier cues, and then building on top of that. So if you're learning an exercise, I'm not going to teach you every little thing, your head placement, your foot placement, where your hips go, what you should squeeze, where you should feel it right away. Because if I'm trying to give all those signals to your brain at the same time, it's overwhelming, it's frustrating, and it actually makes it harder for you to learn. So instead, you start with something as simple like sit in a chair. You think about something like spread the floor. Just start with that, right? And then eventually you focus on the knees and where you should feel it, and what should bend first and all that. Because you need to build it out. Otherwise, as I said, it's your brain is trying to think at 55 things at once, and then it can't get anything done. And this is very much the same thing where it comes to your plan, what you should be doing to move towards your goal. If you're thinking about every little detail, you're going to get overwhelmed, and it's going to feel more difficult than it needs to be. So instead, we focus on the big rocks first, the things that are going to have the biggest difference, and then we're going to build out. The whole point is not to overwhelm you. The whole point is to be able to see some early success so that you build up momentum and motivation from there. Because if you feel like a failure right out the gate, what is going to make you push? Because a lot of times there's a middle part where you've started, you've been going for a while, but you're not quite at your goal. That's the hardest part, because that's where you have to push yourself through. And if you haven't gained any success to begin with, that's the part where you start to quit. So instead, we're going to build this out piece by piece, step by step, cue by cue, and you're going to move towards your goal. But the most important thing is to focus on what needs to be focused on now. And that is this particular step, and not to overwhelm yourself with what happens tomorrow, the day after, and eventually.